Hey, Al, Brad here with another post repair video. This is a Bubbles board set I've got on the bench. I just finished up. Was brought over from a friend of mine, local guy Brian, Scuba King. People know him as on KLOV and some other forums. Uh, Good guy. Got this. It's a complete board set mounted on a Defender's metal plate. So the soundboard and everything's on the plate. Pulled it off. I got a working bubble set on my bench, and then I went through one board at a time and swapped them in and tested it. And then when I had all the boards working, uh, I put them back on the metal plate and then gave it probably had 30 hours of runtime on the bench. So it's tried and true, tested. I'll go over the board itself with my floating camera that probably makes everyone nauseous. Sorry about that. And then I'll come back and do a little gameplay after that. So let me switch over to the bench cam and we'll go over the board here real quick, what I did and what we found. So here's the MPU. First thing I did, I pulled off the old AA battery holder, which was broken, by the way. If they're in good condition, I'll leave them and put some AA lithiums on the board. But in this case, it was bad, and these CR2450 batteries that I put on here, they last probably 15 years or something. Um, they don't go bad due to current draw. So got a new battery, new holder coming down the board here. Um, Replaced a aluminum electrolytic here with a tantalum 22 microfarad. Again, this is for the soft start. This allows some time for all the power 5 volt to all the chips to come up and stabilize before releasing the reset on the CPU. And then also I do change out over here. There's a little Zener diode at position ZR2. The original is 3.6 and I put a 4.7. And what that does is anytime the power, the 5 volts coming to the board, drops below the value of the Zener, it will force the CPU into reset as well. So originally 3.6 volts was just too low. That's where people that run switching power supplies were getting corruption of their CMOS data and high scores and settings. So with this, if it gets to 4.69 below the 4.7 threshold, it'll reset, put the CPU in reset and stop all bus traffic. So we've got some new filter caps on here too. We've got -5, +5, and 12. We've got new Molex headers on the board. I went through and cleaned up the pins on the decoders and on the CPU. We did have a couple bad, one missing 4016 DRAM. ROM board, new ribbon cable, all new Molex headers, 3 of them, 2 new filter caps here, Nichicon filter caps for the input power, cleaned up, wiped down, new reproduction labels on the 2 special chips, blitters we call them. They're basically DMAs, direct memory access. They take over and move data around very fast, faster than the CPU can do. This also, somebody had replaced the 4049 buffer. This is what buffers the data coming in from all the CoinDoor stuff, coin up, all of the diagnostic buttons, the slam switch all comes in through this header. And these do fail. They're CMOS, and somebody changed it, but they lifted a pad and had some jumper wire. It was ugly, so I cleaned all that up, and I did put a new IC in because they're very inexpensive, and I didn't feel like testing the old one. I/O board, new ribbon cable, new filter cap, 2 new 10-pin Molex headers with the square pins as well. Back here on the video board, um, again, they're using a little jumper to get from the data off the ROM to the video, which is from a Defender. They have a volume pot that's on the Defender plate here, wired up, which is just a 5K pot. And then the audio out through the speaker here is going to my little box that I use for capturing. It's an attenuator that allows me to capture the audio digitally for this video. All new filter caps, all new Molex headers, new bridge rectifier. Um, I do put some new heatsink compound between the audio amplifier and the 7805 voltage regulator. You can see I've got a couple little tantalums here. These were originally, these 1 microfarads were, there's 3 of them, were aluminum can electrolytics. So now they're, you know, will last a long time with the tantalum. So fuses I pull, I clean with some Scotch-Brite pad, and then I crimp these little metal holders, these friction grips. So that fuse, you really have to push it in there good. So you've got some good connectivity there. So soundboard rock solid, everything on here good. Again, this board was just probably pulled. We didn't really know the state of it. So, I just like to go through them and make sure they're rock solid. Let me get here on the bench again and we'll get set up to do a little gameplay. So let me switch over to that mode and I've got a little remote on my bench here. We'll boot her up. There's our carpet or rug pattern. That's the game doing a memory test for the RAM. Anything in the RAM gets rendered out to the display. So as you know, they wrote some code to put random data and read it back. That's what we're seeing basically on the screen. So there, it boots right into a track mode. So that tells us that the battery and CMOS and everything's working great. I have a little PlayStation controller on my bench here that I can configure for all the different games that I test. I basically have the ability to map these buttons to do whatever I want. Bubbles is simple. It's only using the analog joystick, and I've got coin up and start, and I do map some of the diagnostics that we'll go into. So I'll coin it up here. We'll start. So we did jump ahead an extra sync because we went down when the drain was green. There's a couple ways you can get out of each level. You either collect all the stuff, all the little grime and crud, or you go down the sync drain when it's green. Oh, got it. So I'll drop into diagnostics here. All ROM's okay. No RAM errors. CMOS is good. Sound, we'll jump through a couple sound tests here. And then it should just look around. Switch test, left coin, player 1 start, got auto up, and then I can do up, right, down, left, and then of course diagonals of those. And then I will advance. Grid lines to set convergence. I think I've mentioned in other videos, most people nowadays are using those test pattern generators, TPGs, to work and calibrate and adjust your monitors. But sometimes it's nice to just have the game generated out to check things. And then you get RGB here, red, green, blue, and then we'll get some color bars, and then bookkeeping data, and then where we can go through and set attract messages and how many credits and free play and all that kind of stuff, and then right back into attract mode. So with that, this board set is rock solid. Hopefully it'll find a good home out there, and somebody that's deconverting a Bubbles or has a nice cabinet that's looking for original boards. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.